this 3000 GT possibly has a thrown rod. I don't know for sure if it does, but today we're gonna go ahead and inspect it, and I'm gonna show you how to do it as well. How do you inspect a project car that doesn't run, doesn't have any oil, was not turned on for 6 years? How do you inspect it and make sure that it's still running and you can go ahead and not spend too much money on an engine? I'm gonna show you today what I'm gonna do to go ahead and investigate that. There's plenty of things you can do, and I'm gonna show you the quick and simple ways to go ahead and do that with this 3000 GT. All right, so first of all, before we even begin, check out how clean the engine bay is now. I am so excited. If you haven't not seen the previous video where we go ahead and clean the interior of the engine bay, this is such a big transformation because now I feel like I'm not gonna get dirty while I'm going ahead and working on this engine. So if you have not cleaned out your engine bay, at least for a project car, go ahead and do it. It's gonna be so rewarding to do that. Apart from that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you now what we're gonna do initially. We have the valve cover right here on the front of the engine. Once we take out the valve cover, what I'm trying to go ahead and see what's going on is, check the engine oil's condition. I know for a fact it has been sitting for 6 years, so we wanna go ahead and investigate that. Another thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is check if there's any oil in this car. It has been sitting for 6 years, so when it threw a rod, it could have possibly made a hole somewhere and leaked out all the oil. Finally, I wanna go ahead and smell the engine condition, because sometimes if you can smell a strong odor of burnt oil, that's gonna kind of indicate that they ran this thing without oil, and that's why it blew up. So it would be pretty unfortunate, but we gotta double check. I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and dig into this engine right now. All right, so there are a couple bolts around this valve cover that you'll have to take out before you can go ahead and pop it out. I'm actually really fortunate that the previous guy already did that, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So I'm sorry if you were looking to go ahead and find that from me, but it's already out for me, so I got lucky. I'm gonna go ahead and just prop this open. It looks pretty good. As you can tell, it doesn't look very sludgy. I mean, from here, I can see some of the oil is really dark. But apart from that, the rest of the engine looks pretty good. From the other side, it's just all black, but it looks like they did put the valve cover gasket. It looks pretty fresh on here. I don't see anything that's cracked or warped, but what I do notice, however, is that it does smell burnt. Like, I'm smelling it right now, and the smell is very, very strong. And the fact that the engine oil smells really burnt right now is not giving me a lot of confidence in this engine right now. I'm gonna put this back and we're gonna double check the engine oil level and see if there's actually any oil in this engine. All right, so pretty simple. We have our dipstick right here and we got our rag. Let's go ahead and pull it out. And I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty empty. Maybe, let's try again. All right, we give it a couple seconds. We're gonna try it again. And yeah, I mean, if you can see it right here, I don't know if you guys can see, it's pretty empty. It has no oil in it. So that's super cool. I'm gonna put this back. And so not a lot of confidence here, but I mean, we needed to do it anyways. Super simple check first to determine the engine's condition. Now we're gonna go ahead and go under the car and do something that's really important, which is gonna be double checking the oil filter and seeing if there's any metal chunks. That's gonna be one of the key indicators that this engine is done. Now, of course, we don't have a lot of space in here, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. We're gonna have to do the best we can with what we got. Where the heck is the jacking point, bro? All right, so we're gonna jack it up real quick, and then we're gonna grab our oil pan so we can go ahead and hopefully not spill any oil, because if we do, that's gonna suck. So that's pretty tall for me. I'm gonna go grab my jack stand. Just make sure whenever you guys are jacking up the car, don't just jack it with the you know, this one right here, make sure you have a jack stand so you can go ahead and put it underneath. Now, of course, I don't have like the best jack stand. It's from Duralast, so if I die, pray for me, bro, because I mean, it's been working all these years since I got it 5 years ago, but yeah, I mean, one day it might give out. I might be just underneath the 3000 GT, bro. Anyways, all right, so I got my oil pan right here just in case there is some kind of oil in the bottom. Hopefully not, but you know, there's always that possibility. All right, guys, so as you can tell, there is oil here in the bottom. I'm actually really surprised. It looks like it's just a little bit, but we'll see. All right, so not a lot of oil, but still enough oil for us to double check what's going on. But as you can tell, really dark. So right now it seems like the oil filter doesn't have any metal chunks that I can see of. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this bolt because it is a magnetic bolt where it does get some of the metal chunks. So hopefully that tells me whether or not it does have any chunks in it. Hopefully not, but right now giving us some sense of security with that one. Let's take it out, moment of truth. Okay, nothing looks like it's in this. Oh shit, is that metal? Oh no! No freaking way, dude. Oh no, this build is done, dog. Oh yeah, that's metal. You see that shit? Oh no! No way, oh my God. Okay, yeah, it's done. It is done. All right, guys, so after a quick inspection, you guys can tell here, there is metal flakes. You can see that shit is glittering, bro. You got the forbidden gold. No way, dude. Okay, yeah, the engine is definitely gone. There is no point of rebuilding this. The rod is in there for sure. They were not lying to me. I'm glad there was at least a little bit of engine oil for me to double check this and have it run through. I mean, at least now we know. Now we know for sure it's gone, it's done. So we don't have to worry any longer trying to start it up. There's no use. So after double checking the engine oil that came from the filter, you saw those metal flakes. And of course, those metal flakes means nothing good. Also, once we took off the bolt for the oil pan, you guys definitely saw that metal piece from the rod. It is completely toasted. There is no saving the engine after hearing that and also confirming with what the previous owner had said about the engine. This just solidified my confirmation that this engine is no good to go ahead and rebuild. The last thing, what we're gonna do, and of course I know for a fact at this point it's not gonna be any good to double check, but I'm just gonna show you guys, just in case you guys do have a project car yourself, what you can do prior to any of those steps or after to just kind of double check the condition of the engine itself and what else might be happening with it. We're gonna go ahead and move the harmonic balancer and see if it cranks over at all. You wanna make sure that there is no serpentine belt on the harmonic balancer or any of the accessories as you're going ahead and turning the engine over. That's gonna provide a lot of resistance and you won't be able to really check if the harmonic balancer is able to crank over the engine. So you want to make sure those are all off. If at any point you believe that, you know, it's a little bit too hard or if it should be moving, you could also remove the spark plugs, but you usually don't have to do that. I would just recommend to remove the serpentine belt and just move it by hand. It shouldn't take too much force. You should be able to just get your, breaker bar and pull it down and be able to move and turn the engine over. We're gonna go ahead and double check if we can do that. I have no hopes. With the metal being in there, I'm sure the rod is stuck up in there, but might as well try, right? Let's go ahead and show you guys the condition of that crank pulley. All right, now as you can tell, we have the harmonic balancer right here, which will be able to move back and forth, and hopefully it does work. As you can tell too, it looks like it's in pretty rough condition. If anything, it looks broken. You can see some missing metal pieces right here, so that's already not a good start. All right, so I'm gonna put this on here. Perfect. This is the crank is a 22mm socket that you really need to go ahead and put on here so you can twist it over. I have my breaker bar right here. We're gonna give it a good little push. Remember, you wanna go ahead and take off all the accessory belts and all the spider webs apparently that came back, and then go ahead and try to move this over and crank it over. So you're gonna go ahead and put it in. It should just automatically just move with not a lot of force. We're gonna use both hands. We're gonna try to crank it over. Oh, and move. So moved a little bit. Let's go a little further back and try to push it again. All right, so it's not moving. And I think my shit got stuck. Okay. All right, we're gonna put it the other way. I'm gonna crank it backwards because it does move. But yeah, it looks like it's, I think we can say for sure that the rod has actually left the chat. It's gone. I'm gonna push it one more time the other way. Okay, it's moving. Can you hear that? See, that's how it's supposed to move. If there were, look, if you see here, moving it back and forth, it should not be too hard to push it up and back and forth. So if we were to push it up, it should keep going, but it doesn't because something is stuck in there, which would be the rod. So that's it. The 3000 GT is completely done for. It in fact did throw a rod after our inspection. It has glitter in the oil. It has metal chunks in the oil pan. And to top it off, trying to move the harmonic balancer is impossible. It looks like it is really stuck in there. So it's unfortunate. We got lucky up to this point. We had a lot of the interior bits for this Mitsubishi 3000 GT. It looks like the electronics work completely fine. Most of the engine bay is intact. We have a lot of good luck with this find, especially it being completely free and also it being a clean title. We did find our stump, which was the engine being blown up for sure, which, for this series, it's completely fine. I was already expecting to do an engine swap, so that will not deter me from finishing this project and getting it up and running once again. So for the next video, we're gonna go ahead and double check the underside of the Mitsubishi. We're gonna see if it is really rusty or not. It does look like it has some surface rust, but we'll go ahead and fully determine that next video. We're gonna also hopefully be able to go ahead and sand everything off and then recoat it so that it's in pristine condition for when we do get everything else that we need for the engine swap. I'll see you guys next video. Thank you for watching once again, and hopefully the audio quality was better. So thank you for watching. Later.